Hey guys, Martin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today on JP we got the data download for all the content that is upcoming tomorrow. Still no data download on global though. This has been a regular trend for the last few data downloads now, where for some reason we're not getting them at the same time. Well, I say that. We never really got them at the same time before, but they were usually only a few hours apart. The usual schedule used to be, if there was a data download in the morning, I would usually wake up for like my early stream. The JP data download would have been a couple of hours before my waking up, and then the global one would pretty much happen like around the time I was starting my early stream. So only a couple of hours in between the two. Whereas now there's been quite a few longer gaps for global with the data download, and that's the thing, the time that global would normally get data downloads has passed, which means that it's probably very likely that global is just getting the data download tomorrow morning, like an hour or two maybe at minimum before the content actually releases. But either way, everything in the data download will be the same. There's no banner, so there's not going to be any extra like global purchasable tickets or anything like that. So essentially everything that is in the JP data download for today should be all the same stuff that is in the global data download, because all of the events and related things are of course going to be coming out for both, as they all do now. So shout out to Proton as always for compiling all of the info into one handy thread. We're going to go through here the stuff that's in here. I think everything in it is everything we expected. It obviously has the stuff for the next upcoming Dokkan Day as well, because of course that is on the 15th and the 30th of every month. So that will be coming up in just over a week. So the missions and stuff for that are in the data download as well. So if we take a look, we've got ESBR stage 74, Defenders of Justice. So that's coming out tomorrow at, it'll be 9 AM for me currently in my time zone with the daylight savings time. This is one, I'm looking forward to this one because this is one that's going to be very easy to make a full heroes team for. So we'll be running heroes to get this one done for the no items run. Should be pretty straightforward. Then we have a new stage of Union Master. Obviously this was shown yesterday in the news in the information on upcoming content update. So we're getting, technically it's two new stages, right? But it's like one new set of fights really, right? Because the way this goes with the Union Master thing, the first stage you only have to use 3 of the required category characters, and the bosses are slightly easier. They don't have a lot of the extra mechanics. And then for stage 10, the enemies are all the same, but their stats are slightly higher and they have more special abilities like locking, sealing, healing, being able to crit, like all that kind of stuff. And you have to use 5 characters of the related category. So we'll go over the missions for that as well here, but that comes out at 9 o'clock as well. Then we have the new stages of the Giant Form Clash, stages 4, 5 and 6. Those come out a couple of hours before for some reason, literally like 3 hours before. I'm not really sure why. This is one of the big things that we talk about all the time when it comes to this game and the overall pacing of content during celebrations, and it's one of the things that can make celebrations feel very empty or very boring or very slow, is when they do essentially what they're doing this week, where all of this stuff drops tomorrow, which is Tuesday for me. All of this stuff drops on Tuesday, and then as far as we know there's nothing else until next week. So like, why are these dropping 3 hours apart instead of some of the stuff dropping tomorrow and then some of the stuff dropping on like Thursday, for example? It just seems like a weird way of doing it. Like, if you're going to drop the stuff on the same day even, like why is there a gap of like 3 hours? But yeah, stages 4, 5 and 6, we'll go through those here in a bit as well. We're going to look at the stages and the missions and stuff. Then we have the EZA for Tech Super 17, and that one also starts at the earlier time, so that one comes out with the Giant Ape stages. Be looking forward to this and trying this guy out on some teams. We went over all of his stuff yesterday, did the community response video, so make sure you check those out if you have not seen those. And then, yeah, the special tickets for Dokkan Day that will be coming up on the 15th. Technically, it starts in the 14th if you're in certain US time zones. But yeah, this is one of those ones where these are going to be dropping earlier than the banner, because these should be for the Part 2 LR. So it says gacha ticket that can be used to draw in the upcoming gacha. So these will obviously be for the Part 2 LR, who I think the estimated like time for them to be dropping is, I think I've seen people say like the 16th. Obviously Dokkan Day is going to be on the 15th. I guess they don't want to spoil the character by having the name like on the tickets, so it could potentially be still dropping like even on the actual Dokkan Day itself, but then there'll be another sort of like data download to amend the ticket description so that it has the name of the actual banner. But yeah, obviously for now they don't want to spoil who the Part 2 LR is just from the ticket of a description, so it just says upcoming gacha. And then we've got the SSR for Turles. Oh, because the Turles is going to be a boss in the Giant Ape event, so they've added like the assets to him like as a boss card, because I guess this guy wasn't a boss at all. So yeah, that's all the stuff that's in the data download, mostly all stuff that we were aware of thanks to the update from yesterday. So if we go ahead and take a look at the Union Masters event, so we've obviously got the new stages being added, which are Battle of Fate. We might as well look at the 5 units one, because it's going to be the one with all the actual extra abilities and things like that. We haven't got the stats yet because the event's not live in the game, but you can see here you're fighting my junior first. It always seals a random unit on your rotation. It's a bit annoying. Then we've got Kid Buu. Kid Buu, attack increased by 15% each time an attack is received, up to 150%. So Kid Buu builds up by getting hit, but can be attack lowered, whereas the Piccolo Jr. can't. Also, Piccolo Jr. can be sealed by the looks of it. And then we fight Fusion Zamasu, and then it's just 2 phases, the TUR into the LR. So the first phase doesn't really do anything, no extra special abilities, but can't be affected by any of the status effects. And then the second phase is no status effects and reduces damage below a certain level to 0. So that's actually like, this is probably shaping up to be one of the easier ones, right? Because none of these abilities are particularly, like getting a unit sealed is kind of annoying, but like, yeah, damage below a certain level to 0 isn't really that bad, unless it's a really weird cap, I suppose. But like, he's got no annoying ability, so there's no locking. None of these guys are like stunning on or sealing on super by the looks of it. So yeah, this one should be pretty straightforward. We'll take a look at all the missions in a moment as well, because then we also have the giant form event. So we've got 3 new stages being added, 4, 5 and 6. So stage 4 is going to be against Turles. So yeah, we know he's going to be a boss, right? Because this version has got the assets added. He deals damage to you at the start of the turn. So I mean, the thing is, these are the enemies having those abilities in this event makes sense, because it essentially helps you to trigger like giant ape transformations, because a lot of them are HP related. So we got Turles, starts off as STR, turns into the AGL Great Ape, and then goes over to being the physical one. So that one should be pretty straightforward. Then stage 5 is the Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the 10th year. Damn, deals 50% of maximum HP damage each turn. So you start off on turn 1 and you just lose half your health. That's crazy. Each time you receive an attack, your defense goes down by 4%. That's interesting. It says each time you receive an attack, but I'm assuming that means him. And he always crits on super. So it's just following the trend of like, you really want to be in a giant form or some form of invincibility for the giant ape modes, because they do crazy damage to you. And then yeah, so he transforms into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then yeah, guaranteed crits as well. So that one should be hopefully relatively straightforward. Stage 6 is the interesting one. The entire Bardock squad, but it's like all in one go, and they're all giant apes already. So it's all 5 of these guys, all at the same time, all giant apes. And each time they are hit, they build up attack, which is what most of the giant apes do. One of them seals one of your units. Oh god, one of them turns rainbow orbs into bomb orbs. This one deals damage 10% at the start of the turn. So yeah, this is going to be wild. Omega's on Battle of Fate though, so I mean, like, Omega should be pretty good for this, especially with the action break, but obviously this one is a little bit different, not having the multiple phases. It just has 5 enemies at the same time, so this one's certainly going to be very interesting, but I guess we'll have to see how we get on with these when they drop. Obviously, I'll be doing videos for them. So if we take a look at all the missions that were in the data download, obviously the Dokkan Day ones are in here. They're all basically the same that we usually get. Doing the link level stage, doing the Roshi training thing, leveling up a super attack, and then complete all missions. So you can get the 14 tickets. Then we've got one mission for the LR EZA, as there always is for LR EZAs, which is just beat stage 7 for 3 stones. So that's all good. And then, yeah, we got the Giant Ape missions. So stage 4 with no items, stage 4 with no LRs, interesting. And then stage 5 with no items, stage 5 with a corroded body and mind team. Although it's a team of 5 or more, so you can use one non-corroded body and mind, and obviously the friend. So that's interesting. Because that means, like, if you've got Baby, you could run Baby's team, but then still run, like, Omega or something. And then stage 5 by collecting 40 or more orbs. That's interesting. Now it says power orbs, so I don't know if it specifically means STR, because that's like the Google Translate for STR on the JP version of Dokkan Info, so that's going to be interesting. The stage 5 is the versus Goku one. You've got to obtain a certain number of orbs to beat the mission. Interesting. And then stage 6, the one versus the Bardock squad. No items. Within 5 turns. And a full extreme team. Oh, and it's not just an extreme team. It's an extreme team of each typing. Well, that's going to be interesting. And then, yeah, beat all the stages. So once you've done 1 to 6, you get an extra 8 stones as well. So that's interesting. Yeah, the one extreme typing one is going to be certainly very interesting. I think Omega will be useful for that. Like I say, for the AoE and the action break. And then you kind of want to, ideally on the very next turn, be able to go straight into like a giant form or something, because the Tech Great 8 Vegeta, I believe, is on Battle of Fate, so he's obviously a very good option for that. He has an AoE as well, of course, so this should be quite interesting. Looking forward to trying those out. And then, yeah, Union Master, these ones are usually pretty straightforward because they're just beat the fights of the stage, and then like stage 9 use 3 Battle of Fate characters, which I think it's weird, these missions for this event, because you can't start the stage unless you have 3 or more Battle of Fate characters, but there's a mission for beating it with 3 Battle of Fate characters. I suppose actually the only thing you can technically do is if you're running 2 Battle of Fate characters on your team and then you bring a Battle of Fate friend, then it lets you start the stage because the whole makeup of the team is 3 Battle of Fate characters, but then you wouldn't finish the mission because you only brought 2. So I guess it's still a weird mission because it's like the game is telling you have to bring 3 Battle of Fate characters, and then there's a mission for bringing 3 Battle of Fate characters. So it's a bit weird. And then, yeah, stage 10, just win the fights. Yeah, the Union Master doesn't have any like other restrictions outside of using the actual units for the category, which, as I already said, the stage basically makes you do anyway. So those will be pretty straightforward. And then, of course, there's a mission for just beating stage 74 of Extreme Super Battle Road, still getting the medals to EZA. I guess we call them EZAing, right? But EZA, that's support memory for the 18, which I think is what? Is it like androids and earthlings? But and some skill orbs as well. So, yeah, all the missions seem pretty straightforward. Like the corroded body and mind, and then an extreme unit of all types ones for the giant forms could certainly be interesting. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. All of this stuff is out tomorrow, so let me know which of the events and everything you are most looking forward to. And yeah, I'll be live tomorrow to get a bunch of this content done on stream. So hopefully I will see you guys there. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ninja. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.